Tree Boy Fresh, dopest podcast on the planet. You dig?
Hey, you're tapped in with Tree Boy Fresh, the dopest podcast on the planet. Tap in, subscribe to our channel. First thing I want to say is, hey, I hear a lot of negativity and how it's a lot of evil people in the world, but shout out to whoever that honest motherfucker that returned my wallet, man. I was at the UFC fights, lost my wallet. It was a couple blue faces in there, and I had wrote it off as a loss. I was like, okay, that's gone. Well, now that's gone just because I'm not a motherfucker to be hella mad over some shit you can't, it's just gone. You can't, being mad over the shit for another day isn't going to make my shit come back. So I was like, last resort, you know what? Let me call this arena just in case, nobody was charging my ATM card. I was looking at my ATM. I didn't get no charges. So I was like, my shit might be really lost. I might find this shit in a couch cushion or some shit. So I call them, and they got the shit. I'm like, oh, shit. What's crazy is I guess that there's two different spaces for lost shit. There's one for like valuables and one like less valuable shit. They're like, I was in the valuable shit locker. So they was like, oh, what did you have in there? They was like, you must have had money in there that, I was like, damn. I was like, is there, because I figured, okay, even if they had it, somebody had took the money and at least, threw away the wallet. Bruh, I had all my shit, everything intact. And I was like, damn, I got a little bit of positive karma on my plate. Yes, sir. So that's my tale, keeping it positive for the week. But I'm in the building with my guy, Boss Boy.
Yes, sir. And you know why they brought your wallet back? Because they probably knew you fight. They was like, man, this motherfucker fight now I got a wallet. They going to beat my ass. They was like, people walked up and said, what's up to this man tonight? Fuck that. They ain't finna be looking for me. Take that shit to the front desk.
No,
I'm surprised they didn't leave a note like, man, tell him to call me because I want him to know.
What I do think is, you know how I'll be sliding in better positions, right? So I was about in the fourth row, and I seen front row. So
yeah, them rows be a little more honest.
So I wiggled about 4 rows. But what happened was the UFC always has a section where they put the friends, family, and other people. And you know what? Off top UFC, I'm not like big on the organization. I like the sport. I like the people, but the organization, because my man Max and Fluffy was like way back there. I'm like, how did Clay Guida get 4 seats? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, how do these motherfuckers get 4 seats and shit? Other motherfuckers is in the back. But I was in the UFC section, so maybe they was like, okay, it could have been, somebody in their section. But either way,
I don't want him to be.
I got my wallet back, bro. I had already written that shit back, so it was an action-packed weekend.
Shout out to that honest motherfucker,
right?
Man.
Bless
we need
you.
more motherfuckers like y'all.
Exactly. But I believe in that shit. They say, and they're like, okay, when you do something bad's going to happen to you, but not necessarily from that person. Yeah. Maybe when you do something good happens to you, but not necessarily from that person.
Oh,
so,
yeah, it definitely comes back tenfold. You know what I'm saying? And, that's the example of that. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got to put out that type of energy anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh, I'm hella I thought I didn't even have a lighter. I'm like, okay, I do. I got a Friendly Farms lighter. Shout out to Friendly Farms.
Man, shout out Friendly Farms, man. I'm going to have to come slide on y'all and get another battery, man. Look, batteries was lost Saturday night. It was just a long...
Man, hey, it was carts. Hey, bro, I will say it was
shout
bottles.
out to everybody that had a cart going, though, that night.
It was bottles and carts everywhere.
Time. Usually motherfuckers be like, nah, I had one. Nah, motherfuckers like, bro, you want to hit? Nah, I just hit it.
I pulled 2 out the tuck and made sure Boss had the battery. I'm like, we ready? We good, right? Yeah,
had the Friendly Farms quick charge, you know what I'm saying? I need another one of them. That was a good one. You could charge that one and still hit it. The cart stays on it. It charged from the bottom. So, yeah, shout out Friendly Farms on that dope ass battery.
We was in the club with bottles and vapes.
Bottles.
But, I went to SneakerCon in San Francisco, and I feel like it was anticlimactic. I was like, man, I thought it was going to be a little bigger. Don't get me wrong. There was dope shit. It was a cool event. It was cool to see, like, a sneaker convention. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think that was my first one, was the Cow Palace in San Francisco. I thought it was going to be the whole Cow Palace. It was a little side room. Section, it was a little section, you know what I mean? So I was underwhelmed. I went to the one in Sac, same shit, you know what I'm saying? There was some cool shit. A little underwhelmed. I thought the sneaker community was going to come out a little bit bigger, right? So I get to the one, first of all, I'm on limited time because I had other shit I had to do, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking I'm just going to pull up in there. I was going to meet up with Rax Hogan. Shout out to the stylish owner, Rax Hogan, you know what I mean? Met up with my guy out there. But so I thought I was just going to pull in, walk in, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with bruh and shit. I was trying to get him do some promo shit for SF Canada. I was like, okay. But the line was around the corner. And I was like, hold on, I didn't allot enough time to be like waiting for this 4-hour line. I try to do the palm the security dude 100. I'm like, what? This motherfucker probably make $14 an hour, bro. He wouldn't take $100 to let me in the door. I'm like, okay. But I will say, bless technology, bro. You get to just get a QR code. So the line was moving faster, just scanning QR codes.
Yeah.
They had like 4 people, so the line moved fast for what it was. But I was like, bro, this shit crazy. And so I got to throw it down, man. That shit was ginormous, bro. That shit was huge. It was probably, it was a lot more than I expected. You know what I mean? It was probably like 4 times bigger than the event I had went to at the Cow Palace. And then Rax Hogan, he travels the world and goes to sneaker events, and he said it was the biggest one in America. You know what's crazy? What he said was the biggest sneaker event that he went to? China.
That's because they fresh from the factory. Like, here, take this down the street.
There's rare air is rare air. Limited editions are limited editions.
Yeah.
He said that shit was crazy. Well, I guess the population's bigger, so everything's.
This year was a lot of good releases, like the Travis Scott releases. Yeah, some good
Hey,
releases.
okay.
So
wait.
it was.
Well, okay. So, what would you pay for the Travis Scotts?
Me, I'd pay $500. That's what I am.
So, what do you think What do you think is a fair price for them?
$750. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to pay that much. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I see them.
Yeah, that'll buy you about one of them.
Yeah.
Those motherfuckers were selling for $12.50 out there, bruh. I seen dude offer a band for him. He was like, look, man, 10 hundreds, you know what I'm saying? I got 10 blue faces for you. You feel me? Dude was like, nah, bruh, $12.50, that's it. I was like, oh my God.
I'd pay $500.
Hey, sneaker tip of the week.
Number. You know what I'm saying? Like price is right. Yeah, I'm gonna stay at $500.
Man. Hey, this is the tip. The best way to save the most money at a sneaker convention is going the last few hours of the last day. After people have booths for 2 days, been trying to sell sneakers. By the end of the second day, they don't want to take all that shit back with you. If you make them a reasonable offer, they'll give them up. You know what I mean? That's the best time to buy some shoes is right when everybody's getting ready to pack up. They don't even want to pack that shit up. They're like, okay, make me a reasonable offer. But $1,000 on the Travis Scotts ain't even a reasonable offer in this market. You know what I mean? So I did see some heat, bro. I was like,
it was a good sneaker year. So I mean,
man, I thought I had calmed my addiction, and I seen some shit that I thought I didn't like, but I ended up liking. There was those static Yeezy 700s. Mm-hmm. You know what it is about Yeezys? I would think too. Yeezys are one of those shoes where you're not gonna go to the mall and go into Foot Locker and see a pair of Yeezys on the wall. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You're not gonna go into Champs and see a pair of Yeezys on the wall. So you don't really. And a lot of times, you be on the fence. You're like, I don't know if I like those. Like some Air Maxes, you don't know. You're like, I don't know if I like them or not. Yeah, and then you see them in person, and you're like, those are kind of lit. Those are When the 97s redropped, I was like, I don't know if I'm big. And then when they came in, I was like, yeah, I fuck with the 97. So, those static Yeezys. So I think that's the first time I seen them in person, and I really wrote them off, bro. I was like, but when I seen them in person, I was like, damn, that might be on the must cop list. That might be on the must cop.
I'm chasing that down.
Both.
I'm on your ass.
Like, okay, both. I was like, okay, there are some general release Yeezys that came out, not that long ago. I was like, I didn't think it would, Those motherfuckers like $600. I was like, damn.
Yeah, he want his money, man.
Yeah,
that crazy motherfucker want his money.
The other thing that was the other one that was on the short list, and it was a good thing I was constricted on time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because given enough time, you will find a way to spend something.
I feel like
it's always like that.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah, if I had been up in there longer, I would have had to spend something.
Been able to wheel and deal a little bit, And
I feel like this, a lot of times when you go to a sneaker convention. It's a couple bucks. So before I make any purchase over $200, I have to take that shit into consideration. Yeah. Walk around, and be like, do I really want to spend $500 on this pair of sneakers right now? It's definitely, a hobby buy. It's not like a necessity buy. It's not like toilet paper and fucking paper towels.
Nah,
you buy a 500 pair of sneakers, it's to feed the addiction, the hobby. So I'm like, okay.
It's
so I don't think I had time, man. Or else I think I would have bought those the Supreme 14 collab. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The Louboutin 14s. I call them the Louboutin 14s.
I've come to find out ain't nobody gonna spoil me like me. I know what I like. So shit. And I know when I go, I'm trying to spend on what I like. I don't do too much bargaining if it's something I like. You know what I'm saying? And really, really want.
100.
Then that's what I'm gonna get. Like that.
Motherfucker,
why you pay this much for that? Because I like it.
That's what I wanted.
And I ain't finna resell it. You know what I'm saying? That shit finna be mine. You know what I'm saying? Period. I own that. That shit ain't finna.
So that's what I feel like. I feel like I grab must cops and good deals.
Yeah.
Most cops and good
Man,
deals.
steals,
like,
you
okay,
always
I
got to
need
come
those.
up on a steal.
Right.
That's
like,
for that.
How much? That's
Come
what I
on.
just. Bruh.
You know you're not finna drink that refill, but you still refill that motherfucker. You still go to the soda machine and still leave with the full soda because, God damn it, it's the jug.
So that's
you
what,
know what I'm saying?
So I bartered for those Toro 4s. So I'm not even a big all red sneaker fan. You know what I mean? The Toro 4s, I was like, they're clean though. I would probably wear them, but I was like, I already knew, you know, with my sneaker market knowledge, I already knew they're dead stock for like 4/5. Bro traded them to me for a zipper tree. I'm like, I don't know if your addiction was that
When?
big. I'm like, that's all.
His addiction
That's a
outweighed
weed
your
addiction.
addiction.
That's a weed addiction story. You know, a crackhead, he traded away his life for some crack. But a real pothead, trade the 4s for a zip. I'm like, bro, you really had to smoke. You really needed to smoke to trade me this zipper tree. I figured, you know, retail on the zipper tree probably about 200.
He probably just
retail
started
on
the new
4s
job.
about 450. I'm like,
Just noticed child support hitting that check. He like, man, I'm stressed the fuck out.
At the end of the
Fuck
day, I didn't
these
really
shoes.
come up because, you know, I'm out of zipper tree and they're just about an extra box stacked on the stack.
I'm gonna get to him though. You
I'm
feel
gonna
me?
get to him.
That's
I'm
how
trying
it
to catch
be.
up. Ever since, bro, last call was like, I'm not buying sneakers no more, blah, 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 blah. Because he had busted out in a dead stock pair and he was, I was like, huh? You quit buying sneakers, but you keep pulling out these brand new
He
pairs.
don't wear them.
Right. He said he got a dozen more pairs in the tuck. And you know his pairs ain't no everyday average
Last
Air
call,
Max.
to,
I'm like,
man, his sneaker game is on point. That's one motherfucker.
He's high up there.
You know what I'm saying?
He's high
a
up there.
professional athlete at the time. You know what I'm saying? It was killing it.
He is high
They
up
should have
there.
did something on him. You know what I'm saying?
Did you see those Supreme 14s? What'd you think?
I liked them. The black and blues, I definitely like. You know, the little beads and shit. It's different, but
It's different.
I
You know
mean,
what it is
it's
though?
still Supreme in,
you know
in
what
the
it is?
14s. I do
And
love
it's not
14s.
like that. That's not like no everyday shoes I'm gonna wear to the grocery store chilling.
Yeah.
But if you had High Road Day, you know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? You break out the
If they would
Louboutin
have supremed
14s.
out them black toes that dropped, that would have been nice. If they would have threw some Supreme across that motherfucker, and them black toe 14s, that would have been a good one for them. Like, I like 14s, definitely. So,
That's what I was gonna say. I like 14s. I
Yeah,
like
14s are definitely a good one, and they comfy. I like 14s.
both. That's what I was gonna
Them
say.
candy
Hella
canes, them
comfortable.
is comfy. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. Yeah, there was some good shoe drops. So I'm glad to see. You know what I'm saying that it's picking up at least because
So
know
that's
I've been to events and shit. Yeah, it's been
Kinda
ghost
dry,
town.
huh?
You know what I'm saying?
Kinda dry.
And you know, you see the same people that's there gonna be up there rocking for sure. You know, all the dope boutiques. Shout out Premium. Shout out Fix Kicks. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Prestige. Shout out Soul Supremacy. You know what I'm saying? Fucking Rampant. All them cats. They always stay at the shows. You know what I'm saying?
Little homie from SAC, Upscale Closet Boutique
Yeah.
was out there, had a booth.
Hell, and you know what? You can find way more shit than some sneakers. You can find some cheap ass shirts that you've been like, trying to find. You
Cheap,
know what I'm
yes.
saying? That is, it's
Find-
buckets of clean shit. You know what I'm saying? Hats for $5-10.
Right.
You're like, what? These is dope.
You know, they had
hats.
the clocks, bro. They had the clocks where the shoes were and they had different
different.
you know,
counts,
they
like
had
on
some
the
were
Jordans.
SBs, some
Yeah.
were like Jordan Bread, some were different. I feel like, man, I was like, damn, that shit was dope. I wanted one of them, but I was like, the quality of this clock is not that smooth. You know what I mean? I'm like,
Shout out
they
dude
just
that
did
was
a
on
printout.
Instagram. He was making lamps out of shoes, dope ones, but you'd have to send him the shoe. That's how real it was. He was like, send me what shoe you want. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
And I'll make the lamp. And he was, you know, like LED light on the bottom of the sole, and it was dope. I forget dude's name, man. Shout out to him. Shit, he makes some dope ass shit.
Have you seen them custom coffee table sneaker boxes and shit?
Yeah, I like those. I like the storage boxes that look like the shoe boxes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I got a quote on one of those. How much you think one of those would hit you? And I'm thinking, okay, this is bootleg. This ain't real Supreme. This ain't real Gucci. You know what I mean? How much you think one of them hit for?
I know them hit, but I'm gonna tell you, I already thought about it, and I did the research. We under 100. You feel me? If you got somebody with a table saw, we under 100. We could, you know what I'm saying, really get it going.
All right. So the dude that makes them, how much you think he quoted me for it?
A band.
So you can get it like the dude at Black Diamond Boutique had a line on him, $2,200
Nope.
for a coffee table.
For a piece of wood
Back to I don't know.
with a vinyl covering on there. I'm cool. I'm not giving you that. Like, I'll make
Well,
that shit.
you know, I buy some shit that's the way where the shit ain't.
Look,
You know, you're like,
I
oh
worked
god,
at
I can't
I
believe you
worked
spent
at a
this on that.
dope-ass metal
But
shop.
damn, I was like, this shit is bootleg. Like, if it was a real Louis, you know what I'm saying?
But I worked at a metal shop where we made light fixtures, all the shit for Cash
like
Creek,
2200.
Thunder Valley, dope shit, right? I brought that to my boss. I was like, man, boss, what you think if I tried to make one of these? He just, half the light you make in here is more difficult than that dumbass box. He was like, man, that box, you can make that box under $100. I'm like, right there you have it.
Sheesh.
Now, have I done it? No.
Right. I was just gonna say
haven't found
I'll
the
commission
time
you to
do
make
it.
me one. I'll commission you to make me one if that's.
But now,
the case.
you know what I'm saying? I was about to say, now, I'm tapping in on a lot of shit that I do. So you might see a couple of these boxes pop up. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah. I like the little, like the hidden, remember like the hidden rooms and shit, like the bookshelf shit. They got little racks like that for the shoes too. That's pretty clean. You know what I'm saying? Shit's definitely dope. You know what I'm saying? You just slide something over on your wall, you know what I'm saying? So it's stored, then boom, you go in and it's your motherfucking sneak. So it's dope. It lights up all the shit.
I like any kind of 007 shit. I don't understand what you're talking about, or I don't
Hell
think I've
yeah.
seen it, but sounds lit.
Yeah, that shit's dope. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? Cut out. It's like a closet basically with a bookshelf over it. But you slide that motherfucker open and it's
I got a partner.
all the heat.
He got the real 007 button in his console where he hit the button. I don't know what he hit. Preset 1, 3, 2, 6, and his shit open up, bruh.
Oh, yeah.
Open up, bruh.
Yeah, I'm not right
He be
with
having
him.
thing on him.
Yep.
Hella dough in there.
Yep.
And this
Felonious, right? Felonious.
bruh be putting it on Instagram. For the gram though. I'm like the 007 door on the gram though. Like,
Please don't do that.
right.
No shout out to him.
Yeah, I didn't.
Let's make that clear. That was not a shout out. We were just
Oh, shot, bruh. A gun is not a cool flex on the gram.
No.
A gun, that's not a flex. You know
money
what I'm
ain't
saying?
the,
The
money
gun-
ain't even
gun ain't the
good flex. A lot of y'all, I mean, look like a picnic plate.
Cool
You know what
part
I'm saying? A lot
about
of
it
y'all look
is-
like lunch, man. When you walking around with all that money and shit, man.
If
Half
you
you
go-
motherfuckers on way over 150, like you better be cool.
Especially if you're going to flex a pistol, like a Glock is a real basic introductory pistol. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's not like a fine thing that you would flex if you were like, as far as other gun, you know what I mean? I was like, damn, how's these motherfuckers are flexing stacks of bread and Glock? But a Glock isn't even a fine weapon. You know what I mean? Like you come with a Kimber 1911, some shit like that. That might be, you know, a little
And you
smoother
out there
for the
wondering why
flex.
motherfuckers ain't dying when you shooting them with the Walmart bullets. You better knock
I
it
ain't
off
gonna lie.
and get you some fine ammo. You
I ain't
know what
gonna
I'm
lie,
saying?
bro.
Step your grain count up. You feel me?
I
You
used
getting
to-
over there with them Walmart bullets. That's why they surviving. You like,
Right.
man, I hit him 9 times. Yeah, with them Wally Worlds.
Bro, I had a
Man,
nickel.
you
I had a.
you need to go to Richard's Ammo. You need to go to them spots. They're gonna have that high grain count. You feel me?
I had a nickel plated 1911. That shit was for the flex. That shit was bad though, cause I'd be wanting to show that motherfucker off, bro. You lift up your shirt, that shit be sparkling.
Man.
And I had a 357 Ruger, bro. Those are guns you flex. You know what I'm saying? You don't flex a Glock 9, a subcompact 40. You know what I mean? That's some basic ass shit, bro. If you at least want to flex a pistol, flex some big shit. Come out with that big Magnum. You know what I mean? Come out with some shit motherfuckers ain't seen before. Hey, cause you know the opposite. When you see a motherfucker with some big shit on Instagram, you like, oh, okay, so he ain't playing.
Yeah.
So he ain't playing. That's a real flex. You know what I mean? Your little baby 40, bro, ain't getting nobody excited. Like, show some real shit.
Yeah, man. And please don't show it, cause you motherfuckers
Please
is
don't,
going down for it.
Please don't.
You motherfuckers and be like, man, why everybody in my business? Man, you posting your business. Shut the hell up. You posting your shit right there. What the meme say? I'm on season 3 of your shit. And I am enjoying the shit out of this. I'll grab my popcorn and watch your fucking timeline.
Man, it is
And
a
it
few
is
people.
very entertaining. You know
It
what I'm
is a
saying?
few people who post their whole life on the shit, and I'm like, huh, let's see, what episode is on today?
And I'm like,
Like,
oh,
damn.
this is the drama one. What? This is one where he breaks down in the yelling. This is the yelling scene. Like, man, come on, man.
Come on, man.
I'll be watching it. It's entertaining. I'm not complaining.
Right.
Shout out to them. That's why I be hitting the timeline. I'm like, let's see what type of shit
Let's
we going to
see
see
what-
on the everyday. Because a lot of people pick and choose what they going to post, you know what I'm saying, on the pictures. When they start doing the live video shit, you really see who you
The
dealing
whole
with.
shit, huh? The live shit be the whole shit, huh?
You be like,
Nah,
you
there's some
be
people
hearing shit in the background like, hey, are you going to eat my ass again? And like, hey, I'm doing a live over here. Like, you're fucking up my video. Like,
Nah, you know what it
eat
is?
ass. You heard her in the
Look,
back.
it be the Instagram model. She be putting the still photos, bro, looking hella fancy and shit. Then you find out like she's in a 2-bedroom house with 18 brothers in the turf. You feel me? Like hella babies crying in the background and shit. Hella dirty ass carpet and shit. Like what the fuck?
And she shoots all her lives in this one square that she keeps
Look.
clean in that corner.
Yeah,
of that
that's what I
trap
was gonna say.
house.
There's like
it's
one-
just immaculate
Yeah.
right there. It got fake little vanity lights. You'd be like, damn, where's that bitch?
Hey, I'ma tell you how you-
Hollywood? No.
look,
And she
I'ma
is
tell
in the
y'all how
trap
you
in
know,
that
bruh.
corner.
You got
little ass corner.
You got to check out the moldings. You feel me? The door. If she got some old ass 1972 door moldings, you know this shit fucked up, bruh. She got that good.
I'm gonna tell you a quick way I judge a bit. At this age, if you do not have a headboard, I am not fucking with you. You feel me? Period. I'm tired of going in them shits. And it ain't no goddamn like I'm actually pulling down curtain. It's not my fucking fault. Put a fucking headboard up and that shit'll be blocked. You feel me? What are you, 8?
Hey.
Like, step your fucking game. And once you came out of that twin bed, you should have got your
hella
goddamn
bougie.
headboard.
You're hella bougie.
I said you hella bougie. Yeah, man, get it off the flow. Matter of fact, while we at it, get it off the fucking flow, too, man.
Lying, though.
There's all different types of shit. Get you a cedar block or something.
Listen.
Give me some elevation.
Since you keep saying about how you're older, so if you slide back in the room with one of these cougars, bro, she's not going to buzz off that.
Well, a cougar.
You're not gonna buzz off that.
A cougar's gonna have the biggest
that.
headboard. Nah, the cougars are gonna have it. Older women gonna have it. They're not rocking the mattress.
My point was, sorry I got high. My point was, look, so once you get one of these cougars into the room, if she don't got no headboard, that's not gonna stop your mission. You feel
no,
me?
definitely not. Because that mission is not the headboard. The mission is
Tear down the
401ks,
curtains.
401ks, all the shit. You know what I'm saying? My future investments. You know what I'm saying? If we find the cougar, you know what I'm saying? That is definitely the next move.
I just need a top sheet. You feel me? That's sophisticated. If you got a bottom sheet and a top sheet,
and a pillowcase.
That's sophisticated.
And a pillowcase. Oh, you Gucci, yeah. Damn.
That's the real. But the minimum shit any human should have. I'm just letting y'all know. The minimum shit any human have is the bottom sheet. You feel me? If you look,
you should at least have your skin separated from that stock mattress.
If you got a real mattress, that's the bottom of the shit, bro. Skin the mattress, man. I know a couple motherfuckers be like, bro, put a sheet on the motherfucking bed. Put a sheet on the motherfucking bed.
Damn, that's cold if you hit a motherfucker like that. Like, you
That's
look like you
basic
sleep
shit.
on a bed with no sheet.
I got some colder
You just like,
shit.
Damn, dude.
Look, hey, I had this motherfucker tell me, I'm like, bruh, no sheet. I laid the towel down.
I laid the towel down.
Mind you, this wasn't like a poverty-stricken homeless motherfucker. This is a lazy, dirty ass nigga. Like a towel.
Like, fuck it, I'm gonna just sleep on it.
Like, listen, $400 pair of sneakers on.
Might have been an expensive towel. Might have been a Gucci towel.
This shit happen in real life. This shit be happening in real life. I'm like, do you got $400 sneakers with and no top sheet?
Damn it. Future investments, y'all. Top sheets. Definitely on the bed. Headboards. Top of the list.
So we on it. We was talking about, okay, our cannabis subject of the day is, how two different cultivations can create two different flowers. You can get the same exact, it can be the same exact cut, but totally different. These are two Sunday driver cuts that came from the same mom. And bruh, they're like night and day. They're not though. They have, they have basic tendencies. Well, we'll see. We're just smoking the first one. The first one's burning nice and
one
smooth.
Definitely had a louder nose on it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely. Like,
and that was probably
they both look good. They definitely both look icy. All the shit,
right.
Color to it, everything. But one did.
That's just like life, bro. It's like
distinctive.
environment shit have grown up in. You know what I'm saying? It's like people, bro. It's not your genetics.
Yeah, this is the
it's
brother
also
that
the
moved out to the country, and this the dude that stayed in the city.
I think these are dope examples too, because sometimes you'll see like one that sucks and one that's dope, but these are both both of these are like really good weed. You know what I mean? This came from a Diamond Fire mom.
Oh, they got
Diamond Fire dudes had a Sunday driver mom, and
Shout out
both
them.
these cuts came
Shout
from
out they
them.
wedding cake, shit.
Right. So whoever took this one on the left, and there's a lot of variation I want to say that can change the plan. That's what people don't understand. That's what I was arguing with people about. People would be like, oh, that's not real Gelato 41. It's all the hype beast 41 kids who are like, is it the 41 or is it not? You know what I mean? And I've known people who it's the real cut, but it's just different growing conditions. Different growing conditions is going to change it. And a lot of people, they're used to that connected cannabis 41. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So they don't want to believe that cut got out. Cuts get out, man. People have real 41 cuts, Yeah. They try to defame them by being like, that's not the real cut. And I'm like, bro, Like there's vastly different growing conditions. You can grow in soil, you can grow in rock wool. You know what I mean? You can grow with a nutrient line. You can grow organic, and this is all going to affect the bud. It's all going to affect your bud. It still has the same exact genetics, the same exact lineage. You know what I mean? Which, if you didn't know, lineage is a big part of how good the plant is. You know, there's people are like, oh, this recipe does this recipe does. It's a plant that has basic nutrient needs. You know what I mean? As long as the basic nutrient needs are met, the plant's going to thrive. If you don't have enough, it's going to have problems. If you have too much, it's going to have problems. But as long as the plant can only take up so many nutrients, you know what I mean? There might be some products that make you take up more nutrients, but the plant can only take up so many nutrients. You know what I mean? So it's like. The 5'4" Chinese kid probably not gonna prosper in the NBA. It's just genetics, you know what I'm saying? The same thing with the flower. If it comes from poor genetics, it's just not gonna perform that way. Yeah. And in an indoor run, it's really like a sprint. You know, outdoor, like a natural grow, a natural plant that takes 6 to 8 months to grow in nature.
And you growing it in a couple weeks.
You're doing it in 8 weeks. You're asking it to run that whole 8 weeks of budding, like 12 weeks. You're asking it to do in like 12 weeks. The same plant that's in nature supposed to go 8 months. You're asking it to make this sprint, and those conditions are going to vastly change the nug structure, the size.
Because you see just even how big shit outdoor gets. You know what I'm saying? Being out there for that long and being fed by natural sunlight and shit. Them things are huge. Trunks on them are fucking thick as hell.
That's a good example because you see a lot of these big farms are actually they have their indoor and now they're starting to run it outdoor. And you see like the difference in like the bud, how it's like, okay, these are the same exact genetics, the same exact cuts, but like outdoor is always going to be a little bit harsher just because the plants have to protect themselves against the weather. To do that, they create more fats and lipids, which make the smoke a little bit harsher. But THC content can be higher because there's no supplemental light that can match what the sun puts out. Exactly. You know what I mean? So the sun's always going to give it more lumens. That's lumens than if it's going to be indoor. Yeah. Right. So there's varying. You know what I mean? A lot of the outdoor has a really high THC content. That's why a lot of that shit's getting ran into extracts, making some super dope extracts. You always come
across some good growers that can grow some shit out some outdoor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Even their outdoors, they're like, oh, yeah, hell yeah. I'll buy his outdoor, you know what I'm saying? There's certain motherfuckers, they're going to take care of that plant and shit. And I think this is mainly, though. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not, because they're not, like we're saying, the difference on these?
Night and day. Actually, they smell similar. They smell similar. Yeah, they taste similar.
They do smell similar. One just had a more, you know what I'm saying, a little bit louder. Yeah, but this stupid-ass color up in there.
Right. One got more color. And a lot of this color... Well, it's genetic. It's genetic because you see there's purple in both of them, but color is created by temperature, right? So maybe this had more temperature, or maybe because it's genetically the same exact plant. That's crazy, right? Mm-hmm. That this one is so much darker.
So this guy might have ran it a little larger,
or this one might have been a little bit warmer, or his room might have been a little bit warmer.
Just like you were saying, everybody varies. You know what I'm saying?
And the smell of the curing process is different. You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of. They say the standard is 60-60-14, like 60 degrees, 60% humidity, 14 days. That's like, they say that's optimal drying conditions, but there's a lot of variance in that, you know what I mean? So the cure plays a big part in the smell and taste. And you see a lot of motherfuckers, same thing. They grow on the same plants, shit looks dope, and then...
Oh, I just didn't cure right. Man. You know what I'm saying? That's the line, huh? That is the line.
There's nothing worse than, spending 3, 4, 5 months devoting to a crop and then fucking it up in the last 2 weeks, not curing it right. And motherfuckers, that's what's crazy. I know.
Man, they got left in the aisle.
I know a bunch of fucking growers that grow amazing weed, but then, a lot of growers are hand them out. They're waiting for the next crop. They're waiting for the next crop. They're waiting for the next crop. So they rush the cure job. They're like, man, you did all this work to grow this amazing weed. And then what's the worst thing is motherfuckers who will have like a 10-week plant. They're like, okay, this is a 10-week plant. 8 weeks in, they're like, so I got no dough, so I'm going to chop these and they'll be sellable. You know what I mean? I'm like.
Sellable.
Man, bro, that's like. That's
not saying much. Sellable is
like a disgrace to the art of cultivation. You know what I'm saying? You cheated those plants out of what they could have been. You know what I mean? These plants could have been really the shit. Yeah. But you're like, I just cut it short.
That plant could have been Mike. You made it Harold Miner.
And I think that was part of the, with the commercial cultivation, they're getting rid of a lot of these strains, dope ones that are like 11, 12 weeks because no one wants to run them that long. Because we're in a capitalist society. At the end of the day, that's more money. So like,
Time is money.
which is great. Which is both where you think that like you wouldn't want to see these strains get extinct. You know what I mean? Like back in the day, Super Silver Haze was like a big strain everybody was hyped on. That shit was coated in resin, white as fuck. But you don't see it too often because it's 11 weeker.
You catch the smell in some of that shit though. Like
Catch a
similar,
trace of it. That's what they do. They back cross it with shorter ones to try to, you know. But I feel
because they
like,
want that little nose.
right. But it can gain some positives, but it can gain some negatives as well. You know, that's the thing. Breeding is crazy. Breeding is crazy. And the science of it is how they could genetically tell that these both these Sunday drivers is, if you took this to a lab, they could do the genetics on it and see that it was a genetic match. And that's what they're doing with the tissue culture. Is a tissue culture is going to. I just pulled the filter out of this joint on accident. No, what's up? But a tissue culture is supposed to bring a plant's original DNA back intact because it gets watered down from cloning and cloning. So you can take a clone and
make it stronger,
right?
Back as strong as it was.
That's the new shit. That's that new next gen technology shit. That's a little bit over my head though. I'll be honest.
Yeah, how does that happen? You playing God with these plans? What's going on here? How we just gonna make this shit? You got the Benjamin Button plan of the plants now? You just fucking
that's
bring
what it
back
is.
Like, oh, we man Benjamin Button that plan.
That's what it is.
Make that motherfucker young again. Like,
so you know how people have cuts and they're like, man, they had a cut. They managed to save one. It was kind of raggedy.
Then you throw the Benjamin Button.
They throw it in the tissue culture. And they're back like they never fucking left.
Damn, that's crazy. Motherfuckers be mad chemists. You know what I'm saying? That's what they are. They playing with this weed.
Hey, the extracts brought out all the failed chemists, though.
Oh, my God. Especially motherfuckers that was giving you wax, and it was just butane. It was just like, here, man.
I'm glad the extract game evolved so fast. I done dabbed up some
Butane
Tane
soup,
soup. I done dabbed up some Tane soup. I done got the Tane headache, all that shit.
God.
I was like, man.
I felt like the tank itself was just couldn't move. Just,
Yeah, I didn't have that problem. I've seen a bunch of makeshift chemists. Man, I've had the whole nail catch on fire, bro. I done dropped dabs and the whole damn near burnt off an eyebrow. I was like, this is such a bad idea.
shit hella dark.
This is such a bad
Looking
idea.
And the motherfucker just trying to slide it to you, you know what I'm saying? Because he know it's out of pocket. He's like, shit looking like dark ass coffee candy. You like, bro, I'm not.
Look, let me tell you the only thing dumber than taking a dab and it bursting out in flames is being like, well, it might have just been that piece.
Too hot.
It might have just been that piece.
Too hot, huh?
You know what I'm saying?
I shouldn't have
Because
did that.
you get a whole gram of wax, right? You take it, first one you dab under, boom, burst into flames. I'm like, that wasn't supposed to happen, right?
That
but
never
you look at the
happens.
whole gram, you're like, damn.
Maybe it was just that little
Am I
piece.
just gonna throw this whole gram away?
This corner a little light.
Or maybe if I just air it out a little bit, air this motherfucker out a little bit, you feel me? It'll be cool to smoke.
No. Over there smoking on the fucking.
Oh, I trying to save some motherfuckers' lives before they came through with some wax. Like, bruh, what do you think? I'm like, I think you're about to poison yourself to death. What? I'm like, do you smell? I can smell the butane in the wax. Like, we don't even. I'm like,
in the car.
I'm
Like,
like,
when you pulled up, I can smell it coming out your car. Like
they want to look at you like, what's it supposed to smell like? I'm like the tree, bro. It's supposed to smell like the tree. Yeah, like not that.
Not a
I'm like,
gas
it's supposed to
station.
smell like the motherfucking tree. I'm like, man. Then be like, well, I bought it, so I'm smoking it. I'm like, bruh.
Yep. I've already
Damn
invested.
it.
I have stock in this company.
I feel it though. It be like that sometimes, huh? It be like that sometimes.
Grand for 50.
I'm like,
He got played.
sheesh. I've seen some of the bottom and the top of the tops. You know what I mean? I've seen some diamonds, and I've seen whoa.
Oh, some
Whoa.
cubic zirconium, son.
Whoa,
You seen
whoa.
some. Yeah. You know? Like you said, there's a market for everybody, right? When it comes
Bruh,
to
there's a
weed
market
shit.
for air. Someone will buy that
Motherfucker
shit.
tell you, hey, I don't want that strong ass weed.
Someone will buy that shit fast. Huh? That shit too strong. That shit too strong. I'm like, too strong.
Like, what are you shooting for? You just want to just be smoking visually, like your thing's a visual thing. Nah,
That's a
my
new
shit
thing
is a
though, but really,
Medicaid thing.
the low dosage is I think that the industry was striving so long to fuck, I'm hella high. I forgot what I was gonna say.
It happens, especially on here, because we be over here blowing on these fat ass doinks.
Damn it. We know the Sunday driver's how it works.
The first batch so far. We just now
The
got
first
the
one.
second one lit.
You know what I'll say? The second one that looked better, smelled a little better, is burning black as shit.
Uh-oh. So far.
That
Yeah.
kicks off the whole black ash campaign because it doesn't taste. It's tasting pretty smooth though.
Play by play right there.
But it's burning black as
We got
shit.
the ring. We got the resin ring. What we got? Nothing forming yet?
You have resin around it, but it's not like a drip.
Let's
Tastes pretty
taste
good
this.
though. Damn, that shit pretty loud.
Sunday
know how I got
driver.
so
We gonna
high.
see this Saturday driver.
I feel like
It
I
might
didn't
be
smoke
one
enough
of
weed to
these,
be this high.
Not the one.
That shit might be kind of lit. Cause I'm like,
Nah, it's Tuesday. It's definitely Tuesday. No.
Friday driver.
Oh yeah, that's Friday. He caught in traffic. That one still tastes cool.
tastes,
Yeah.
it tastes real similar.
I still like that one. Tastes better though.
The first one.
Yep. So far. But I'm gonna hit into it.
I feel like the potency is on point, bro. The first hit kind of like, ooh. I'm like, hold on.
Just pass out on camera and everything.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm like, oh my
my
god.
god.
I haven't smoked enough weed to
That
be
would
this
go
high.
down in history. They'd be like, bro, did you see bro pass out off that Sunday driver? On Tree Boy Fresh? Like, man. Like, oh,
Sunday
man.
driver is across the Fruity Pebbles OG. Let's see what the whole shit is. I know it's 1 part Fruity Pebbles OG, grape pie. Huh.
Grape pie.
I feel like, that shit's hella funny. You're like, grape? I taste that in there. Tell motherfucker, it got a nutty flavor. It does taste kind of
Hazelnut, huh? Hazelnut. I was thinking the same thing. You be like, bro, you wasn't. You just said lemon. Now you said hazelnut. Hell yeah.
The funniest shit ever, you know what I'm saying? I see it, you see as a broker, is where a motherfucker look at the weed, you like, Sunday driver. And some of these brokers be like, this motherfucker wants a 41. I'm telling these motherfuckers, this is Gelato 41. You're like, what? It don't even look like that. It don't even smell like that. You won't know. It's some dope, bro. It got color. It's some dope. That's 41. I'm like, what?
Damn, that's like telling somebody they look like something else. Man,
Hold
you
on.
look like a Rick.
This is the only thing. Next thing you know, their client comes over. They're like, this is some 41. Now, me and and this is all Sunday driver. And then the client digs his nose, puts his whole face in the bag. And it's like, that's that real 41, bro. You got that real 41 right there. That'd be the funniest
No, what
shit.
he got was
Hey,
the 42. And
That
that was the 42
man, he got
fake.
the 42
You got
fake,
played.
bro. You know what?
got
Hey,
played.
actually, the 41 was a bad example because they really won that play with the runts. The fake runts is the play. You know what I mean?
Oh, the fronts.
And it's so funny when motherfuckers run the fake runs play and the motherfucker be like, "This is really him, though."
You
This really
want to
him,
know how to
though.
sell trash weed at a high price? Put it in this bag.
Damn it, they gotta,
Pink runs or white runs.
bruh.
Any flavor you
They
got.
got weird color now. They be like, you want some turquoise runs? Like, yeah, they just got it. Like,
They ran that shit to the ground hella fast.
Magenta?
They ran that shit to the ground hella fast. I always bring up what Ted says. Like it might not have been fake runts, bro. It might have been real runts, and it just what I'm
Wasn't
saying,
good.
wasn't as dope. Yeah, it wasn't as dope as he thought it was gonna be. That's what it was. They started bagging it. They started getting weed that wasn't that dope, the actual brand, and releasing it. You know what I mean? The motherfuckers couldn't tell who was getting the fake ones. You know what I mean?
damn. Who
Because
had the bags and who didn't?
bruh, I don't get fake runs. I get a real Skittles by Gelato cut. You know what I mean? And motherfuckers would see that, and it was smashing on real runs. But I've seen Canantique Farms runs, real runs, go crazy. You know what I'm saying? A batch here and there of real runs go crazy. So, but overall,
What's that one we had on here? Them
that's
sweet
the
tarts
most bootlegged.
on here. It was probably some of the tastiest shit. You know what I'm saying? Nah, because that Zookies was crazy. No, that Zushi, that shit was crazy.
That Zushi was crazy.
That
Hey,
Zushi
that
was crazy. Yeah.
The Zushi was crazy. But the sweet tarts, bro, when you open up a box of them sweet tarts that cost $1, you know what I'm saying? The big box that costs $1, it smelled that little powdered shit.
Yes,
It smells
yes.
exactly like that sweet tarts from Kennedy Farm. I won't
sure.
say that's on point. You know, I mean, a
Damn.
Blue Dream.
Renamed it for the
Ooh, I've luckily enough I haven't had any. I really haven't had any Blue Dream, but I've seen motherfuckers do it. I've seen motherfuckers do it.
Oh. The name, son. They just trying to switch
Right.
blue everything. They be like, yeah, man. Fuck it.
It was a-
Because, you know, that's the first thing a motherfucker try and grow. You can't grow that?
What, Blue Dream?
Yeah, they like, yeah, let me try.
Blue
and
Dream
grow
is an
this.
amazing plant that got a bad name. You know what I mean? That shit's like, you know, it yields hella high.
That's what I'm saying.
It
Most
grows
motherfuckers
really
that start
well.
growing, they like,
It's-
I'm gonna
it's,
grow some Blue Dream. Like, I bet you
It's
are.
pest resistant, you know, so a lot of people do it well, but then they just hate on it because there's no exclusivity to it, you know. So many people had it in mass amounts. They're like, it lost its value.
That usually is
lost its
followed by
allure.
like a spin-off when motherfuckers be like, yeah, I got some Blue Dream. Like, that's what's up. Yeah, so what you got up over here? 'Cause they-
Man.
like, nah, Blue Dream is
On the adverse, I heard of a dude on the 41 hype.
same guy?
What up?
With the
No,
41? Oh, I
no.
was about to be like, man.
You know, this is from the 41 Trappers. The 41 Trappers are like, bro, this motherfucker had me drive way out to some spot and went in, and he's like, I got 41. It's dope 41, right? They walk in there, and it's a whole room of Blue Dream. A whole room of Blue Dream. And they try to tell the grower, this isn't 41, bro. This is Blue Dream. And the grower was like, I know where these came from. Blah, 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 blah. This is Gelato 41. And he's saying this to the 41 experts. Right. Hey, you know when a motherfucker is so strong in his belief that your only next move is to just agree? Yeah. Like, I feel it, bro. Okay. I mean.
Shout out to Booger.
Yeah. You say it's 41, then it's 41. Okay. I'm going to smack hands with you and move on.
Shout out Jones. Jones over here. Trivia answers. You feel me?
Some motherfuckers, you got to take an L, just go on with your life. You know what I'm saying? You're like, this motherfucker's so convinced that he's right, and I don't really have the time nor effort or want to set him straight. You feel me? So we just gonna nod and be like, okay, yeah, okay, I agree.
Peace to my nigga Bug.
Man, it be like that sometimes. You're like, man, motherfuckers be dead wrong. They be trying to tell you, look it, staring at a blue wall, trying to tell you it's red. You're like, bruh, you ain't tricking me. There's no way you gonna convince me this is that.
Yeah. Step your green thumb up. You know what I'm saying? Don't have the Blue Dream. Especially don't try and toss it off as the 41. You know what? That other stick got me kind of loaded over here. Speaking of it. Speaking
The
of the
Sunday
devil,
driver has
look at
affected the tempo of our podcast. Bruh.
Yeah.
Brought us down a notch.
Yeah, but we have gave y'all the rundowns and whatnot. And gave y'all what we got some shoe drops. If y'all big on the shoes right now, we got them well, I don't have work for Nike, so shit. But the 13s are dropping. White and court purple. 13s. What you think, Steph Lowe? I got the head nod from Steph Lowe. That means we got it's fire. What else we got? We got
Steph Lowe official.
the Freaks. Big Fred was just talking about the Greek Freak the other week, talking about his brand new shoe deal with Nike. He drops a black, white, and gold one this weekend also. It looked pretty clean. You might want to look into that one.
Because
You know
I
what
do
I'm
the
saying?
black and white. I do the black and white.
Exactly. And so we're going to sit here and keep pulling on this Sunday driver and see where it takes us. But, man, this your boy Bloss Boy, man. That's where you can find me on Insta. Big Fred, tell him where you at.
Bro, you didn't even tell him follow the Good Samaritan. Support the Good Samaritan. New logo going crazy.
Oh, man.
You feel me?
Yes,
Yes, sir.
definitely follow the Good Samaritan, man. New
And
shirts,
subscribe to our channel.
new shirts, new colors, new merch, all coming up. You feel me? Especially, you know what I'm saying? But we definitely appreciate everybody that's tuning in. We're going to keep bringing it to y'all every motherfucking week. Thank y'all. We love y'all. We out.